Today in our 2018 GMC Sierra 2500, we're going to be taking a look at and showing you how to install the Roadmaster MS baseplate kit with fixed arms, part number RM-3180-2. So here's what our baseplate looks like once we have it installed. Now it's going to give us a secure platform so we can flat tow our Sierra down the road behind our motorhome. The arms here are not going to be removable. They are going to be fixed, and they're going to replace our factory tow hooks and connect directly to the frame. Now, because of the way they're designed, we're not going to have a crossbar going from each arm, which is going to cut down a lot on the looks, and it's really not going to distract on the front of our truck. And the black powder coat finish is going to hide it nicely and blend in with the front of our truck, as well as provide a nice rust resistance. Now, it is a custom design, so it's going to fit our Sierra perfectly, and as you can see, it's really not going to stick out too much past the fascia, and installation is going to be extremely simple and easy. There's no cutting or welding required. Now, our MS baseplate is going to be compatible with a lot of Roadmaster tow bars, but keep in mind that our baseplate is only going to work with the tow bars that are motorhome mounted that don't require a ball. So now that we've seen what our MS baseplate looks like, gone over some of the features, let's show you how to get it installed. To begin our installation, we're going to come to the front of our truck, and right where our tow hooks are, we're going to come underneath the bumper and find the mounting locations. On each side, we're going to have one bolt that's going up and one bolt that's going through the frame here that has a nut on it. Now we're going to need to remove both those fasteners on each side so that we can pull the tow hook out. So you're going to want to grab an 18mm socket to pull those bolts out. Now at top, I'm going to be coming from the inside because there's a little bit more room, putting the socket on the nut, and you may have to grab an 18mm wrench and hold the bolt on the other side. And with all the hardware removed, we can pull the bolt out of the frame, and we're going to pull that tow hook out, and we're going to repeat that on the other side. With our tow hooks removed, we're going to want to grab some Loctite, and we're going to apply a small bit to the threads on all of our hardware. You don't need a whole lot, but you just want to make sure you get a nice little line going down the threads. It's going to make sure everything's nice and tight and stays tight once we have it in place. So we have our two arms here, and I just want to go over which one is which. That way we can identify where they're going to go. If we notice there's going to be a small tab with a hole on each arm, you're going to want those facing towards the center of the truck. So that means this would be the driver's side and this would be the passenger side. And then you have your larger tabs with larger holes for your safety chain connections on the outside. Now towards the back of the arm itself, you're going to notice that there's two welded nuts. That's where that bolt that we took out of the frame vertically, we're going to be replacing it with these two, and those are going to be the shorter bolts that we have in our kit. So we can take our arm now and we're going to slide it in the same spot that we took our tow hook out of, and it should hold itself in place. We're just going to make sure that everything lines up, and we can start putting our hardware in. Now on the underside of the frame here, we are going to have these two holes and one larger hole, and you can see that those two threaded nuts are going to line up right here at the bottom. So we can take our shorter 1/2" bolts. I'm going to slide a 1/2" lock washer on one, and then we're going to have these cut plates that we're going to be putting on as well. Now you're going to want that cut to be towards the center to where the two holes are facing each other. So we're going to loosely thread in one of the bolts. Make sure that plate's lined up properly, and then we're going to repeat that for the other rear hole. Now for the hole in the side of the frame, we're going to take our long 1/2" bolt. We're going to follow it up with another one of those 1/2" lock washers, and then a 1/2" flat washer. And coming from the inside of the frame, we're going to feed our bolt through the frame and through the arm until it comes out on the other side. And with the bolt all the way through, we're going to take another one of those 1/2" flat washers, and we're going to slide it over the end of the bolt, and then we're going to secure it down with a 1/2" nut. Now once we have all this hardware in place, we're going to do that for the other side as well. Now we're going to come back with a 3/4 inch socket and we're going to snug up all of our hardware. Now you will need to grab a 3/4 inch wrench to hold the nut on the other side of that top bolt. We'll repeat that for all of our remaining hardware. Now we're going to come back with that same 3/4 inch socket and a torque wrench, and we're going to torque our hardware down, and we'll find that specification in our instructions. You want to make sure you repeat that for all of your hardware. And that'll finish up your look at the Roadmaster MS baseplate kit with fixed arms, part number RM-3180-2 on our 2018 GMC Sierra 24.
Thanks for watching. Click the link in our description below to shop, learn more, or visit us at etrailer.com. And leave us a comment if you have any questions.